Hey everybody, just wanted to do a quick how-to video on how to change the color of your main headline right here on your eStage website. So this is my eStage website I have pulled up here, and it's just a quick disclaimer, this can be pretty techy. I'm not a professional web designer. I know some basics, and so this video will just kind of go over on the steps on how I know how to do it. I'm not saying this is the best way, but this is how I know how to do it. With that being said, if you're brand new, I give you caution on what you're doing with this. You can play around with it, but also for those that are advanced, I'm sure you might know a better way to do it. But that being said, let's get into this. The first thing that you would want to do is log into your back office of your eStage site. So here's my dashboard. And what you would do is come down to Appearance and hover over it. And then you would click on Customize. So when you go to Customize, what it's going to pull up is a split screen with your home page, and then some options on the left-hand side here that you might have already been familiar with playing around. Where you would go to do this is to Additional CSS. So you click on that, and it's going to open up sort of a notepad type window. As you can see, I have a bunch of coding already in here. This is coding that I did for my site. Yours, if you haven't done any coding yet, should be blank. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom here where I can continue to the on a blank line for you. So what this coding is, it's CSS, which is coding for websites that handles all the stylization of your website. You have HTML, which is kind of like the skeleton, and then CSS, which is your stylization. If you have questions about CSS, how to tag them, or the different tags, the different syntax, all that, just Google it. Google CSS, learn to code CSS, anything like that, and that'll give you a ton of information on what to do. So I'm going to assume that you have a little bit of information, a little bit of background. You can kind of copy me with your website on the steps I'm doing, and you should be able to get some results that you want. Yeah, like I said, this can be techy. So what we want to do is we want to stylize this main headline, right? So I'm going to switch back over to the other tab to my main website. And so what we have to first figure out is what class or identification this headline is. And so an easy way to do that is if you hold down Control-Shift-C, it'll open up a window at the bottom or to the side of your browser. And what you do is if you move your mouse cursor over certain areas, you can highlight different areas, as you can see, right? So let's go to this first one, and I'm gonna single click on this Find Your Path, Seed Your Ideas. And that'll kind of lock in that position. So then if you come down to this window that opened up, see you have this H4, Find Your Path, Seed Your Ideas. So that is the coding, the section. It's a headline number 4 or header 4 designation. It sits within this division, which is a class that is equal to banner content. So that's the name of this class, banner content. And so looking at this, so I have selected this H4, right? If you come over to this right side, here are the codes that are active on the page. So here I have dot, the period here, right where my cursor is, that first period signifies class. So the class banner content H4, that refers to this find your path, seed your ideas, H4, right? So you have banner content, the class equals banner content, and the element is H4. And so I have, under here, I have the font family. So that is the font that's being used. I have the font size set to 40 pixels. And the font weight, which is bold. And then I have a color that's been crossed out. So that means it's not being active. But if I were to check that box, you can see that it activated it. And now this find your path, seed your ideas on my website is now red. So that shows that this dot banner content H4 controls the color, the font, the size, anything you want to do to this H4 element. So what you would want to do is copy this dot banner content H4 exactly how it is. And you can copy it directly off of here. Sometimes you got to play around with the clicking and highlighting and all that. Control C will copy it. And then what you would do is go back to your back office to this additional CSS section, paste or type that designation into there. So you can see I have dot banner content H4 pasted in there. And then what you would want to do is put a space, and then you want to type in a open curly bracket, and it'll automatically fill in a closed curly bracket, which is a requirement of the coding. So it's great. It helps you there. Hit enter to go to the next line. This will just help it be clear and keep everything nice and concise. So if you ever have to come back and play with it, it's nice and clean and clear. So we want to change the color. So we have the dot banner content H4 curly bracket, and then let's change the color. So we would type in color colon space, and then this is where we put the color code. What I like using is the hexadecimal color format. There's also the RGBA format. If I'm just working with normal colors, don't want to mess around with the opacity, I'll use the hexadecimal, and that's what I'll show you here. If I do want to change the opacity, I'll use a RGBA. So you can, if you Google all RGBA colors, you can easily find that. What we'll do here is we'll open a new tab, and I'm just going to Google color picker, hit enter, and Google, conveniently enough, has this nice color picker that you can choose a color from. If you can change it from your standard colors, and then choose into your gradients. So, find the color that you want, choose it, and then what this does is it does give you the hexadecimal. That's the color code with the hashtag, and it also gives you the RGB color code for this color. So say this is the color I want to use. What I would do is then copy this hexadecimal code, Control C. I go back to the back office, and I'm going to scroll back down to the bottom to where I was editing. After the colon for color, now I'll paste that hexadecimal color in, and then finish it with a semicolon, just like that. And so now you can see it automatically previews what your web page would look like. So you can see now my Find Your Path, Seed Your Ideas element is now that green color. And so that's all you need to do. And so you can keep changing these colors with the preview till you find something you like, and then you come up and hit publish. Once you hit publish, then it updates your website. You go to your website, you refresh the page, and look, it's now that green color. If you come down here, this H4 is still selected. Come to the right and you can see, oh, there's new code here. .banner content H4 with the green color. And that's up above this earlier .banner content H4 that we looked at previously. So that's how you would do that. If you want to change the font family, it's the same thing. You just take this font family, you come in here, select another line, enter another line. I'm going to scroll down so you can hopefully see that. Type in font hyphen family colon, and then you can find the font or enter the font that you want and close it with a semicolon. So a way to find different fonts that you want to use is by going to Google again. Google is so handy. Open a new tab here. Search Google fonts. Enter. Here it is. They have their own font generator. And what you can do is you can put in your text here, whatever it may be. Hit tab, or then you can apply it to all fonts. And so now it puts it in each font here, and you can now scroll through the different fonts to find what you want. Once you find what you want, you come up, hit this plus, select this font button. It adds one family selected. You can click this dash line to open it up. And the way you would add this font is then you click on @import. You copy in between this style here, just this @import URL all the way through the semicolon. So I'll hit Control C. I'll go back to my CSS. We'll put this code actually right in front of the banner content that I am doing, like so. Control V. I'll scroll back down, and then I come back to the Google Fonts, and down here I specify that CSS. Here's the actual code: font family colon, which we already have in here, indie flower cursive. So you want to copy all of that. Control C. Go back to your additional CSS, and we'll paste that in. Let me delete that extra semicolon out, and voila. And now you can see the font has changed. So that's how you do that. And if that's what you like, then you just hit publish, and you're good to go. So I hope that helps. Again, it's pretty techy, but it is a way that you can customize your eStage site even more than what the current capabilities are. If you have questions, I'd be happy to help. Google is a great resource. Again, Googling how to code CSS, anything like that, it's great. It comes back with a lot of different results, everything that you can use. And if you just take the time, do your research, you most likely should be able to figure it out. But like I said, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to try to help. Hopefully you found this helpful, this video. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's eStages as everybody builds their business and creates the good life that they want. All right. Cheers.